I decided to be an independent consultant. So I have contracts with the DOJ, the State Department, and a couple of other programs to train people nationally on the issues of boys and trafficking. So the guesstimate when I first started was that it was probably less than 10% boys were being trafficked in some form, based on the large definition of what trafficking is, like sex work, survival sex, other kinds of commercial sexual exploitation, and that it was primarily within the gay male community and that boys were not getting pimped. But the thing that really amazed me in doing the focus groups was that I was beginning to theorize that there was a lot more similarities with the boys and girls rather than differences. So that's sort of what I sought out to begin to break down those myths about the differences. So what we've now known is by additional research done by Meredith Dank and others, we are guesstimating that there's anywhere 34 to 38% of trafficked youth are male. Boys do get pimped. Boys do not get pimped. Girls get pimped. Girls do not get pimped. And then the other thing was, proportionally speaking, for gay youth, 40% are at risk for or are being trafficked. But generally speaking, 2/3 of boys that are being trafficked or involved in some kind of human trafficking issue are non-gay. Trafficking isn't a sexual orientation issue. It's about life experiences that bring you to being exploited. People will tell me, well, it doesn't really happen to boys because they're not getting identified and they're not coming forward. Of course they're not being identified for because you're not looking for them or they're not going to disclose. I mean, it's just something people aren't going to do. So basically I rely on two factors, the adverse childhood experiences and then behavioral indicators. So when I train people, we go over the series of adverse childhood experiences that youth will experience, like childhood sexual abuse, domestic violence, gun violence in the community, abject poverty. So the types of services boys need to get out of the life, as were identified in the focus groups that I did, and this is the order in which they presented it to me, is long-term, stable, supported housing. They need to get off the street, or being in an environment out of the birth home where it's safe for them. The second area was some kind of educational program in the largest, broadest sense of the term, because a lot of these kids based on trauma are not able to manage in a regular mainstream classroom, and often, I think I've only had one kid that was able to graduate high school. I think there's such a pressure in our field to cure these people and get them out of the life, and why aren't you doing this, that comes across to a kid and you're going to lose them. It's a very long-term process, and as you know, it's lifelong.